What is up? Let me lock this thing in place here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How you doing? This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. This is a Wednesday workshop, art workshop, talk shop, all those things. This is what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to start painting this Megatron piece. It's a tribute piece, not a tribute piece, but yeah, it's a legend, drawing a legend for a legend. This is for a friend of mine, family member of mine, a fellow brosif. He went through a little medical scare, and he's doing all gravy. But when I was able to get a hold of him after the ordeal, the first thing he said to me in his best Megatron voice was, "I still function," and I thought that was amazing of him and his personality, and I was inspired. So this is for him. I can't wait to finish it. I did the drawing earlier today, so if you want to check that out at the end of this stream or tomorrow, I don't care, whenever you do it, just do it. Go check out how I was able to go from a still image of from the movie. This is directly from the 1986 Transformers the movie, from the reference, using the grid system. You can still see the grid on there, and this has been sealed with fixative, so no more rubbing, no more scrubbing. And I was gonna put more detail around the form. It just wasn't going to be necessary. I think I'm going to use his head as the base, so everything is going to be built through and around that. I'm going to use that, so I have to do that right. I will be using, because there is no reference to how I'm going to paint this, I'm actually going to use a previous painting to use as something to look at, so that I can have the metal texture in my mind. So I'm going to be looking at this as reference. I'm going to be looking at other things on Pinterest if I have them, and metals and armors to use as my reference for Megatron. So let's do this first. Olivia Dragons, good afternoon. Ike, my friend, good evening. Good afternoon. Good evening, right? 7 o'clock where you are, my friend. Let me turn this on. So what I'm going to do right now, this has been sprayed with gesso. I'm going to try to move quick, only because, my friends, my energy level has just plummeted. I don't know what happened. Sugar drop. I don't know what happened. So I have to keep the momentum going. So bear with me. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid. I got two cameras here that are really not helping me. First, I'll show you guys. Basic acrylic fluid. This is burnt sienna. It's 9 o'clock. I gotta get my hours. Oh, you're 5 hours ahead, bro? That's right. Wow. But you'll be on for about an hour. I appreciate you no matter what, my friend. I know you have some work to do, or had some work to do, and you're going to try to promote some stuff and upload some stuff. So please do your thing. I appreciate you always. I'm going to get that out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and use this so we can tone it. And while it dries, I'll work a little bit on that Doom piece. So as I was saying, this has been fixed with fixative, secured and sealed with fixative, and now it has a smooth surface clear gesso, which I applied several hours ago, and it's so warm down here, and I got my fans going that this thing is all good to go. I was complaining about that gesso because it does leave a weird shine on the artboard, on the canvas. You guys can't really see. You guys can kind of see kind of like that shine there. See that shine there? So but I'm going to use that to my benefit. All right, so I'm going to use my little stand here. All right. Oh no! Snake, no! Snake! Snake eyes his arm. Oh no! There's a piece missing. Oh well, you know what? I'm gonna have to figure it out later. Our toys, man. All right. All right, a little bit of spritz of water. Regular water. Ow. Just to dilute it. And I have another water bucket over here to help move it. This has become one of my favorite parts to do. The adding of the acrylic underpainting or the wash. Because it is one step closer to painting. And there's no turning back at this point. It's a bravery test, if anything. So that's why I do it. Also, it removes the coolness and the blandness of the graphite. Not blandness, that's not very accurate, but the coolness. And it may not reflect at all the type of temperature of the image, of the reference that I'm using or used, because at this point really it's moot. And one of the other reasons why I do it, you could go ahead right over this with gouache, which is what I use. That's my medium of choice right now when I paint. But what I like about it, sometimes if you use gouache to do a wash like this, a gouache wash, if you use a gouache wash, you guys already know, I've mentioned it before, gouache is a water-based medium and it's always alive unless you seal it, which means that 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, the moment you add moisture, it will come back to life. And it'll reactivate. So, by using acrylic for this step, I don't have to worry about it reactivating later on, and I don't have to worry about it muddying or blending into my first layers. My first layers may be a little bit more wet, may have more water, more moisture sometimes. And I do not want it to commingle or to lose that luster in its color. And if you wanted to, which I'm going to do right now while I have it, I'm just going to add a bit more pigment, and I'm going to just keep in mind the places where I want to paint. that's going to be darker. Kind of pre-shadowing, pre-filling out some spots. That's going to be a bit darker. This side of the face is going to be a bit darker. What that does for me, it just adds landmarks, visual landmarks, just in case this washes out. Not washes out in terms of removing, but washes out my gradients, my pencil marks. This allows me to keep my lights where they are, my darks where they are, and I can keep that in mind when I start painting it. It's not necessary, but it kind of helps. What's up, Saboteur? How you doing, brother? Welcome back. And a little bit more shadow here. What's cool about this step for me is that it allows me to see a bit of it a little bit more completed, even if it isn't. Your mind will help you put things in place, and I think that's what I like about it. It's too wet. I think when it comes to painting, for me, is getting putting yourself in a place to succeed early. Those little wins go a long way. It's a long process. Like my man Ike there says, it demands some patience. So because it's a long process, I need some wins, you know? I need to see the process working. And this helps my mind go, yeah, I can see that. I'm beginning to see what's going on here. I can smell what's being cooked. All right. Mouth, lips. All right, so this is going to dry pretty quick. So I'm going to clean up my palette real quick. Shouldn't be but a moment. See how quickly that dried? It's over 90 degrees down here in Florida where I'm at. And it's hot and it's warm and my fans are on and all of the things that don't make it fun to draw or paint sometimes. Oh, look at me complaining about being an artist. Boo-hoo. All right. I'm going to move this to the side. Oh, look at how weird that artifact I left behind up there. I must have rubbed it with a towel or something. I'm going to put this aside. Looks pretty cool already. What's going to be cool is when we start putting in the metallic colors, I hope it'll start not blending with, but I can start adding layers. You want some of this under stuff to come through to give it some life. Of course, these guys are metal, they're steel, but if you start adding warm colors to metal, like chromes and things of that nature, they get a life of their own, man. They get some depth and atmosphere that can't be bought. I don't want to make a mess here, yo. And I don't care about the staining down. You see down here, I don't care about that. All right. Move that over. in the meantime, while that dries up, it shouldn't take a few minutes. If that, I wanted to try something. I'm gonna draw. I'm not done with this. I still have to do some line art, some shading for the eyes, so that they can really stand out, and some more shadows on the tunic, and some of the details here. But what I really want to do, that because it stands out, I want to try this pearlescent olive color from this Arteza Metallic set. I've used this sparingly. I didn't use it on Arteza. At me for that. Do it. You know what you need to do. I used it a bit on these pins. I don't know what these are called. What are these called? These things on his tunic. I gotta add a bit more so they can stand out and do some shading. But anyway, that's for another day. I'm just gonna add some of this while we're chilling and waiting for that to dry up, which is already drying up. So let's bring this back. Move this over here. So yeah, man, I don't know if this is gonna be. You know what? You gotta stop saying that sometimes. I don't know if it's gonna look like this. I don't. Just do it. Do it. I'm looking for a small flat brush. I think this will work. What are frisbees? All right. I'm just gonna move it here. These pearlescent colors are surprisingly translucent. There's something about them. There's something. The binder in here. There's something going on with these. I can't quite put my finger on them. And I think what I'm going to have to do so that the pearlescent nature, the metallic nature will pop, I'm going to have to put a black outline on these words. But they're super gooey and very satisfying. They're very satisfying to apply these pearlescent paints, gouache paints. But I think I'm expecting a bit more oomph. I don't know what to expect. Barco, correct? Yes, I am still painting, but this is a different stream, obviously. And I don't know, good morning? Is that the time where you are, sir? Or he might go back to sleep with this music in the background. Frisbee darts. Yeah, I might have to Another coat. You know what this looks like? The color of money. It's AM 420. You're from Taiwan. Well, welcome. From Taiwan. That's what's up, man. I'm going to use these pearlescent metal paints to do Megatron's eyes, which I think is going to be the first thing I do. One, because I think it'll look good. You have a friend that studied in Canada, and I am following a Canadian artist that's living in Taiwan. Look at that. We're the same but different. Yeah, you guys see, I didn't really add much water. And my brush is pretty clean. All I did was, or not damp, all I did was clean it in my water. And you can still see through the pigment, you can still see the underpainting. It's Fraser International College. I do not know of Fraser. I don't live in Canada. If that's where that school is, I am in the US, in the United States. Don't hold that against me. I get flashes of how good this green is gonna look, but it's kind of interesting that I was trying to avoid the glossiness and that reflective nature of the clear gesso, and then I'm over here like I'm gonna add something that adds glossiness. I don't know, sometimes there's something wrong with me. So chill. I try, brother. I try. We could all strive to be this chill and still be awake. But I tell you, I'm struggling. If I do an outline on this, or inside or outside, I think it'll look like dollars if I do it. I might just use a marker to do it. I don't know. It's in the air. I think the rest of this painting I'll probably do it off screen tomorrow, maybe. Depends if what am I doing tomorrow? It's been too hot. I actually got to do yard work tomorrow. Isn't that weird? I don't know if you guys can see. You see the blue in this green? Do you think that's the what do you think that is? Is that the binder? All right. Clean my brush. See if I can clean this. Yeah, there's a weird blue to that. Yeah, you see the blue? Look at baby. Any parents in the house? You guys remember this? All right. I'm gonna let that dry. You see how all it? Oh, yeah, it's a little, almost like a foil effect to it. That might be pretty cool. You know what makes me laugh? Look at that forehead. He must be family. All right, let me put that away. I'm gonna let that dry. It's definitely gonna need another coat, but I think that's kind of cool. When it's deliberate, right? When it's by accident, not so much. All right, here we are. There goes the one we're painting on today. So I want to do something similar with the eyes. Oh man, that thing looks terrible from up here. So I want to try to copy this effect. You see that the gem there? But there's something weird. I don't know if the colors are gonna match. Like I want red, and I don't know if I can mix these colors properly with my regular Arteza or even my Winsor Newtons. Barco says looks like metal. Yes, those paints are Arteza metallic gouache, so it's intended to look that way. But I think I was able to get a better metal feel using regular paints than that. I can't imagine a whole drawing like that, no whole painting. I might have to try it. I'm curious what that would look like. I blend too much, so I don't know if it'll work for me, but it might look cool with something like that on top. Who knows? Who knows? But that's what these workshops are for these questions, for these possibilities. That's the whole idea. All right, so these are the colors I'm gonna try to use for his eyes. See how quickly that dried up? There's a weird tackiness because of the gesso, but we're good. We're playing with fire. We're cooking with fire. Fire. All right, let me mix these up. These haven't been used, so they're getting watery. Yeah, you see how that's well, you guys can't see it. It's pink. Pink. This is coral. This is strawberry. Coral, strawberry, and amaranth. Neither of them look red. So I'm going to put in some orange. Here's a quick tip that I've learned from somebody. No, it was Paulo Rivera. He was painting Hellboy or Daredevil, maybe both. And for Look at all those reds. For him to get a really cool, vibrant red, he used orange. And I've done it ever since. Alright. So what I'm going to try to do... Clean my brush. I've used these brushes. I should have cleaned them the last time I used them. Alright. I'm going to try to set the base for my regular Artezas is going to be the base, and then these pearlescent ones are going to be hopefully what makes them pop. But I don't want to do too much blending with those. I want them to be singular strokes. And I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna use I want to use like a dark blue or something to create a shadow. Geez, just trying to get his eye. It's and a bit of black. It's becoming a bit more than I expected. I'm really sorry if I keep banging on the mic. It's on this thing. So once I move or tap it, you guys get a deep bass bump. So I apologize. That's a lot of black. All right. I'm just mixing a little black, a little blue, and I'm gonna grab some of this red here to make a deep red. So this stuff can sit on top. Create some reflective light here. Let me stop that. There's nothing worse than starting a recording and you don't do anything. All right. Marks that nobody will see. You know what's interesting about some of the painting stuff is you do things that people won't ever recognize. You got to do it anyway. Don't let that stop you. And then you got to give props, please, to the person that does notice it. I'm trying to follow my shading. If you guys seen the reference, none of this is really there. The red is just animation red, if that makes sense. Cell shaded red. Alright. Here, what I don't want to do is overmix, so I'm going to use a little bit of vermilion. And if I have to, I'll mix it, but I'm trying to avoid mixing them. I'm using the red and going over. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it. Let me see if I can zoom in just a bit. That might be as close as I can get it. And I might have to... Yeah, I got you guys. Give me a second. I'm not gonna do you like that. Sorry. Hopefully you guys can see that a bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing the red with the dark to blend in there. Cool Tunes 05 asks, howdy, from a comic artist. How you doing? And what are you working on? I am working on a drawing of Megatron. Megatron from the animated 1986 movie. And it's for a friend of mine. I'm trying to make his eyes glow. It's going to take some layering, especially when it comes to gouache. So far, so good. Now, I'm just going to add some of this pearlescent pink. And I'm using gouache as my paint. Gouache is an opaque watercolor. It's described as opaque watercolor. I don't use it so much like a watercolor, but just simple fact that I use water on it. But the consistency, the way I use it is more like acrylic, maybe? All right. I'm doing some of the line underneath the eyes where this piece would have a drop shadow. And I'm using a kind of like a purplish color, dark purple, dark blue, because I don't want to use black just yet. I want black to be the darkest shadow, and doing something that's other than black but is dark gives dimensionality to your shadows, but I don't want too much, just enough. Plus his eyes are glowing, so if you have some of that a familiar color from the eyes, the red eyes, like this purple, when it dries it'll look like this like a glow effect, adding more dimensionality. Have you read Skybound's Transformers? I haven't read any recent Transformer story, comic, or anything of that nature. Are they any good? I can't tell you when the last time I read a Transformers comic book. I'll put up on the screen in a moment the reference I used, just so you can guys get an idea. Deluxe editions 1 and 2 are amazing. Are you a reader? I do read, but I have not read any of those. I currently am not collecting anything current. I am collecting older stuff. Older. I'm talking about 1970s old. And mid 80s. It's over prime. Sorry. One of the habits that I have is whenever I am drawing or painting, mostly drawing, a known figure, known character, or villain like this, from a scene, or mainly from a scene where we all know the dialogue from, I tend to say it out loud. I want red in that. You guys can see how dry it is in my room when I'm not using my wet palette. These things are already drying out. See how matte already that's becoming? So that's the problem that I used to have and fall into because my room is so dry. Yes, comics, everything you just mentioned, I have those. Doomsday Clock, the continuation of Watchmen. I have the Watchmen Noir, Dark Knight Returns. I have some DC war books. I got some Fist of the North Star manga. I even have some One Punch Man and some Yu Yu Hakusho that I would love to reread. But lately I've been collecting more as a student. I'm trying to study past artists so that I can get better. So I haven't been picking up. The last thing I picked up to read was Planetary, Volume 1 through 4, and older book, Punisher Born, a 4-issue miniseries about Punisher in Vietnam. All right. But yeah, but now I'm just reading a lot of Marvel magazine and Conan stuff. You swear you wasn't smart enough for Watchmen? I'm glad I did for the sake of its importance to comic history. Read it? Yeah. I didn't read it when it came out either. Man, I missed a ton of the stuff that came out in the 80s. All the iconic Dark Knight, all of those things. I missed them. I just wasn't collecting like that. I was still enamored with Saturday morning cartoons, so all of the dark stuff really didn't appeal to me, and I didn't even know it was dark. I tell you right now, the darkest thing I remember from Batman was the movie. I didn't read Watchmen when it came out. I read Watchmen when the movie came out. I picked up, I'm serious, dead ass serious, and I picked up the collection because of it. That was the first time I read it, and I thought that was amazing. The same thing with V for Vendetta. Very close-minded early in my youth when it came to those things. But I wouldn't beat yourself up about that stuff, man. Alan Moore was nuts. in a good way. So yeah, see, and I was different. I grew up watching Batman 66, right? So when the Batman movie came up, my only outlet to Batman was freaking Adam West. don't want to go too dark here, because I need to start adding some grays. Alright. But I'm digging the eyes. Let me see if we can add a little bit more shine. Which I don't think we can, man. That's what's weird about these metallics. We're only going to get them after the fact, I think. The shine that we're looking for. But I want to make it look subtle. I might have to add more of the regular color underneath. And I don't know if they work well mixed together. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so, and when I did, but man, I freaking love that Batman movie. That Batman 1989 with Michael Keaton. Loved it. If it's on, I'm watching it. You know what I'm saying? I'll never not watch it. These paints are getting gooey. I don't like it. I don't know if that reads. And I think that because I didn't read the book for Watchmen, I enjoyed the movie. I know that purists were pissed off about it. I wasn't affected, so I was amazed by the fact that they were able to do it. Right? It's one of those movies that forever was said to have not been possible, which I think is baloney. Alright, I'm gonna end up losing a lot of those paints, so I'm gonna move this to the side. I still have my palette here, what I use for Dr. Doom, so dude, Peter Weller as that Batman is so good. It's so good. The line delivery when he's fighting the mutant in the pit. Oh man, it's so good. All right, we're going for the square brush. I'm going to use the square brush a lot on this because I want it to look like brushed metal, the way I was able to try to emulate that effect with my Doom. Here, I'll show you. So I'm going to be using a lot of that type of streaky brush strokes, maybe very wet earlier on so that it'll blend underneath. So we shall see. We shall see. I gotta keep this to my side. Alright. Yeah, you see the difference here? This is my wet palette. It's been sealed since Monday. Monday is when I was painting that Doom, and it's still moist. So we're going for it. Here we go. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of everything in here. That's a gray. I could use gray. Are y'all ready for this? Bam, 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 doom, 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 doom. Cool tunes, man. I have that Dark Knight Returns in a black and white. It's not an artist edition or anything like that. It's the noir edition where DC was. They just remove all the all the colors. All right. So I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to match some of the highlights that I have drawn in here. I'm sure it's not going to stay this way, and I need more light. Because we're going to try to build up here. I'm good. Ah, thank you, man, for the compliment. I appreciate that. I'm trying, bud. Trying to do my best. In the still frame here, let me show you guys the image that I'm using as my what I used as my reference to draw. So I'm not. You see how just flesh toned he look? I didn't even realize how human his color scheme is. I'm not going for that. I'm not copying that color scheme at all. What color is that? Oh, I needed it darker than that. That's all right. So I'm trying to wing it using that Doom piece as a kind of like a reference. Not a direct reference, of course, but just to see what I can do experimenting with metal texture. I can't guarantee that it's gonna work. We shall see. I don't think so. I don't know if I'm gonna go too far. I think the gunmetal or whatever it is that's gonna come out of this should be enough. I hope. So I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I am gonna attempt to paint the clouds or that sky. That sky is beautiful. He's a bit more purple, but we shall see. It's the beauty about this stuff. We can do whatever we want. Prof. Tia, how are you? Let's see what I had. I may have made a mistake grabbing off from this dirty palette, but we live and learn, right? And once it comes together, I think nobody will ever remember. I'm trying to make them grayish gunmetal, but I also want to be able to reflect some of the sky. And the problem I'm going through right now is that because the palette that I'm enjoying so much is so wet, my colors aren't true. Do I have a favorite artist? I got a bunch, but it all depends, right? So I like a lot of the old dudes. Like I said, John Buscema's, Kirby's, and Kubert. DWS is pretty good. DWJ. Did I say his name right? Daniel Warren Johnson. He's a big ticket right now. And then when it comes to painting for real, the legends, right? Mucha, Zorn, Leyendecker, Picasso, of course. You have to appreciate them all, man. None that I can take reference from, or none that I can... It's just too good. You could only sit and admire them. Artists like Alex Ross, Bob Ross. I need gray. Sadly. I need to learn how to mix proper grays. There's a great gray you can get with like a brown and green, I think it is. Who you said Buscemi's Conan is so noticeable and influential, and Rob Della Torre's Conan work. Yes, yeah. You know, unfortunately, sometimes those are the reasons why I don't collect those newer artists that are heavily influenced by my favorite artists. Because I'm like, well, if I want to see Buscema, a Buscema-esque, as they say, then I'd rather look at Buscema. No offense to him, his artwork is great. But yeah, Della Torres is amazing work. Yeah, I like Alex's Ross. His stuff too. I think I appreciated it more back then than I do now. Not to say that I don't appreciate it. I have his mythology and his Marvelosity. I have his the dynamite art of Alex Ross, but there's something about it that loses its wonder when they look like real people. Isn't that weird? To me, sometimes you don't want them to look like real people. And he was going through this thing early in his career where he was painting heroes based on like celebrities. So it kind of took you out when the professor, when you guys might be too young for this, but when Reed Richards looks like the professor from Gilligan's Island. But then when he did his own book, his own Fantastic Four book, he kind of based it on a realistic interpretation of what Jack Kirby drew, which is kind of nuts. It's really impressive. Yeah, Cool Tunes. I did not see this in the theaters, thank goodness. My boy Saboteur there and the other chat did. I still got traumatized on home video. But that's alright, man, right? We all live, we all learn. The thing that's terrible about it is we made us all hate Hot Rod for getting in the way. Man, that black pigment is so weak, man. Sorry. I've been struggling with a black gouache paint that just It's my own fault for buying something that was inexpensive, and I'm kind of suffering because of it. Yeah, you sort of love the aspect seeing Superman with a double chin in a way that gave him more humanity. Yeah, it does work. I mean, I don't hate it. I love his stuff. I mean, he's one of the reasons why I'm trying to paint. But I know our styles are completely different. So I could only appreciate what he does from afar. Alright. This Winsor Newton black is so watery too, man. I don't know what's happening. Alright, now it's super black, and I'm gonna... but yeah, Alex Ross's pieces... Come on, man. You know, that's like earlier in another stream. We were not criticizing, but how... Unfortunately, we lose interest in perfection, right? I hope not, man, but yeah, we do. Man, doing this guy's chin here makes me consider trying to do a Voltron piece. Voltron may have had the most iconic chin. Voltron's face is so cool, man. With the visor, the little ear things. It's dope, man. Dope. What do you say? If only getting better at art was a chase that ends before the artist. Yeah. But we don't ever want to get there, man. The moment that the art becomes unchallenging, the moment that it becomes uninteresting to do, oh, it's torture. It has to be torture, right? It has to be. Which is why the best ones adapt and recreate themselves or try different mediums. It's so tragic. The dude that did The Rocketeer, Dave Stevens, amazing pencilist, amazing inker, and he really was, when near the end of his life, getting bored with his style, and he started to paint. He started going into oils for the first time, changing his medium, and he was amazing at it. If you guys get an opportunity, check out his the Dave Stevens documentary on Amazon Prime if you have it. Dude, yeah, hold on, man. Cause Prof T over there killing it. Voltron face, Soundwave, Shockwaves, and the Macross Valkyrie. You know, has a cool looking mug too, Briarios. You guys know Briarios from Appleseed? There's too much. Couple of eye lenses and rabbit ears. And we can't forget Optimus Prime. Where is my Optimus Prime? I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller brush. But dude, if we're gonna keep going down this road, because we can do that too. The tall geese from Gundam. I haven't drawn a Gundam, guys. I don't do a lot of machines because to do it I have to rely on the grid method. Not that I hate on the grid method. I've been using it a lot lately. I cannot look at and copy. It's just so good that you don't want to. I don't ever want to veer away from how it's supposed to look. I mean, but any of the Gundams look fantastic. Cool Tunes, I appreciate you. Thank you for swinging through. You can come by anytime. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if I don't see you, I'll see you in one of those. Make sure you say what's up. But thank you for swinging through, man. I appreciate your time. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye. Yeah, you hope it comes out well with you. Shoot, man, me too. No pressure. And Prof T, man, the correct quote is, I would have waited an eternity for this. This is him pointing the gun at Optimus's coconut. Right before he goes, it's over, Prime. Never, bam! Double lariat, flim flam off a cliff. He eats it. Soundwave, don't leave me. I want to draw and paint. I think it's Frenzy that ends up carrying his cannons. But I can't remember. And just so you guys can see on this side, it's just a dirty palette. This is the palette that I used for my Doctor Doom piece. I probably won't be using any of these yellows, I don't think. So I'm keeping my eye on the white and all of these variations of blue, green, grays, and dark. That's it. I think I have a pretty good feel of what's going on. Hopefully I'll be able to carry that oomph further into the painting, into his body. But I think not too bad. I might go another layer for the eyes. I'm not quite getting the glow I was hoping for. But again, this is early. And that's what happens, man. We're figuring it out. And that needs to be darker. So these Wednesday streams, I consider them workshops, simply because I want them to be a bit more viewer driven, for you guys to ask questions. I'm not a teacher or anything like that, so but I'd love to share what I know, if I know it. So if there's anything you guys see and anything that you're curious about, don't be afraid to ask unless it's personal. But other than that, yeah. So that's what these Wednesdays are for. Any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, the paints that I'm using, how I'm using them? If I can share my knowledge with you, that's the point. That is the point of my channel. Too many times have I, as a student myself or someone trying to learn a technique or something, and I'm following artists that I admire who either gatekeep or put the knowledge behind a paywall, which is fine. Absolutely fine. Do you, boo-boo, as I say. But you guys are spending your time here with me, so that's how I can repay you. I want YouTube to pay me. If you guys do feel like supporting me, I appreciate that. I have an Etsy store. You can support me in Ko-fi, a little coffee, with a donation there, whatever. It's not mandatory. It's not. I don't demand it or anything like that for your attention. You hanging out with me is more than enough. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your company. That's the point. Let YouTube's monetization program pay me, which I'm close. But that's becoming less and less of the goal. The goal here really is to chill, man, and chill and learn and share this stuff with you guys. We have a limited amount of sunrises and sunsets between now and the end. Not to be morbid, considering what we're drawing here. So, Jane Eyre, what's going on, man? Jane Eyre asks, have you ever used gesso to seal a rough drawing on hardboard to later paint? Yes, that's what I did for this piece. Even though, so my process, when I can remember and I'm consistent, Jay, is this. I draw, doi. If it's graphite, I go ahead and I spray it with fixative. When that sets, I go ahead and add a clear gesso over it. I've once or twice may have not bypassed the fixative part, which is okay. It just means that when you add your gesso, it will gray up. It will grab the graphite. It will muddy it a bit, but it's never too bad. But yes, for this I used a clear gesso to seal everything. Now, why do I use the gesso? Besides, you really don't need it for this because the artboard has enough texture. But once you add the fixative, the spray, that creates a waterproof layer. And again, gouache is waterproof, or not waterproof, what's the word I'm looking for? A water-based medium. So the paint, it becomes a trial to add paint. It beads off and you have to add tons of layers. The gesso kind of like helps you in that sense. Adds a little bit more grit for your paint to adhere to. Now I'm using clear gesso here that has a smooth surface. I've done that as well. I've used gesso on mixed media paper, watercolor paper. I've used it on my Bristol boards. If you've seen my Dick Tracy drawing and painting, that's exactly how I did it. I drew the Dick Tracy, and then I scanned it and printed it out, and I added gesso and fixative to the printout and painted over it. So yes, you can do it. That's one of the things when I started sharing this stuff, people would ask me, young artists would ask me what papers do I recommend, that type of stuff. And I was reluctant to recommend any paper simply because I used everything and I'll use everything. I don't want young artists to adhere to something just because I said so. Oh yeah, use arches, use this, that's expensive. No, man. Go to Walmart, get yourself an inexpensive sketchbook. Go to town on it. You want to paint on it? Throw some gesso, throw some fixative on it, and throw it on top. Would it be the best quality? No. No, it will not. But man, you're learning. You're tearing it up. You're figuring it out. Right? That's also one thing about this channel that do I want to get sponsored? Of course. Do I want to have stuff like that happen? Yeah, of course. But I mean, I'm going to be honest about all of the stuff that I use. I'm frugal, bro. Elisa Chapman, how are you? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. So yeah, here, man. I bought this inexpensive, and I'm talking about cheap. This may have been less than $5. Sketchbook, claimed to have been mixed media paper. It is not. This thing is thinner. This thing is thinner than single ply TP. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't have your thumb wet type of deal. And I drew it. I drew into it. I used the ink here. You can even see in the back end. You see how it kind of like bled through. I drew it. I inked it with India ink like nobody's business. I sprayed it with fixative. And then I added gesso, clear gesso right on top. You can hear the texture. Compared to that's the texture of the paper, the natural texture. This is with the gesso. So do all of it. I'm sorry. So now, obviously, do you eventually want to buy some really good quality paper? Hell yeah. Heck yeah. But I don't recommend that to be the first thing you buy. I did this error. I've had this Arches paper for, I've been living here 5 years, 6 years, almost 8 years. I wish there was a mark on this, like a stamp on it that said when and when. And it doesn't. Almost 8 years ago did I have this paper. I've only used 3 sheets. 3 sheets to the wind. I've only used 3 sheets. You know why? You know why? Because it's expensive. It's highly sought. It's expensive. So, what happened to young Mel? Young Mel. 8 years ago, Mel, who wasn't comfortable painting? I don't want to ruin that paper. I spent too much money on that paper. I suck. I stink at it. I stink at what I'm doing. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to ruin that paper. That happens. That unnecessary burden of using your own paper. It's already been bought. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that to people. People can do whatever they want. Okay? But that was really frustrating to me. Listening to someone who whose opinion I respect, who I followed, and then I can't do it. I can't make myself do it. But that's a stigma that I have to deal with. And there's nothing worse than having that stigma. So I wouldn't add that or share that to anyone. And it's something that I still struggle with in terms of quality or what's considered quality. You know what I'm saying? I got some Holbein gouaches that I haven't used. I used once to make swatches. I had these Winsor Newton paints for maybe a year and a half. Just cracked them. I had these Artezas that I'm squeezing them right through. So, but when I first started, I held myself back because of it, and I don't want people to do that. I mean, those are my stigmas. I don't want to put that on you guys. But that's when it comes to paper. I had an art instructor tell the class to buy the best paper. Your next piece of art may be your masterpiece. I didn't like it. Yeah. Listen, I have sold paintings that I've done on my Walmart paper. Okay? The paper, yes, the quality of it, sure. It may hold the paint. Your pigments might be truer. It don't make you a better artist. I don't think so. None of that does. None of that does. And I take it like this, right? These baseball players. I think it was Mariano Rivera, right? The closer for the Yankees, who's not even a fielder. How he practiced how he practiced his fielding when he was a kid was with a brown paper bag. Come on, y'all. There's people that paint with doo-doo. With cow manure. Manure. I hate manure. Come on, man. Give me that. Buy the most expensive paper. You know what? Buy it for me. And see me struggle with a sketch and tear it out. See if you're okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You know, which is probably why I started really messing around with these artboards. They're not expensive, they're inexpensive. But you know what you get no matter what. I haven't painted on any of these and gone, oh man, it's terrible. Only when it came to adding the gesso and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I got two I have two Arches books there. I don't know, art pads, not an art pad, art block, whatever the heck they're called. Two of them, two different sizes. I think my first painting on them was absolute garbage. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get a little froggy, and I'm gonna use some yellow. Give some depth to this metal, this sterner stuff. When I was a kid, the scene here prior to this where Optimus gets the upper hand and grabs his gun, and you know, Cup is like, do it, Optimus. They were so bloodthirsty. Do it. And what's his face here? Megatron goes, don't do it, Mercy. And Optimus says, Mercy, you who are without mercy, now plead for it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. And I was like, what is that? What is sterner stuff? I thought it was like a metal. I didn't realize that it just meant harder steel, stronger steel. Till later in life, and I'm like, oh, he was talking trash. Yeah, right? Something that, I understand exactly what you mean, Janier. Something that was missing. Sometimes you go, man, I have everything here. And the moment I'll add maybe a sharper black or just a different hint of a shadow, I know exactly what you mean. You guys see kind of like the metallicness, the shininess from the naked artboard canvas? That was the thing that was killing me when I was doing Dr. Doom's helmet. Now I don't like the eyes. I like the glow, but see what happens. Gunplay Freeham. Thank you, man. Thank you. I gotta say, man, I gotta thank you all the time. You have been really supportive of me and my work in this channel almost since from Jump Street, man, and you compliment and you comment almost on everything that I do. And I just want to say, now that I got you here live in Budokai, that thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you. All of you guys, man, and gals. I'm telling you, I can't say thank you enough, and I don't want it to ever lose its luster. I really don't, man. You guys deserve kudos from me. So, thank you so much. It'd just be me in a talking to myself if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you so much. You guys really do make this thing worth doing, you know? You know what? I think I am gonna leave some of this thing open. I think it's gonna look cool. We see. But I'm digging it. I really wanted to add like some toe up stuff, but I don't know if I have the skill or the patience. I don't think I'll need to do all of that. I don't want it to be too elaborate either, so. So where were we? Paper, paints. So new artists out there that want to learn how to use gouache. The first brand of paint that I used was Hemi. I saw a lot of videos and thought that it might be good for me. I did try watercolor and acrylics before that. I tried oil once. I do have a Bob Ross painting book. And but to paint Bob Ross's style, you really do need a specific style of oil paints. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be really thick. Janier, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for being here and the support, man. Thank you very much. I hope you get all nothing but good news in that appointment. But yeah, Hemi's not a bad beginner paint set. I did a ton of paintings and really cut my teeth on how to use the medium using Hemi. But you will notice really quick that it may not be the best in terms of pigments and quality. I found that out when I started using the Artisan. So, but I did not just abandon them. I still use them while I have them. I don't have them anymore. I don't think. I had the little containers, that set, and they got moldy. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. And he's a bit darker here. Still trying to treat this as if it was a human's face. I'm trying to paint the planes to match the shadows. I don't want to do that. I want to keep the lines sharp. That looks too metallic, doesn't it? I'm complaining that it looks too metallic. while I draw a metal man. Hopefully, as you guys watch me paint this, you guys can hear the dialogue, because that is the point, right? When you're drawing stuff from a referenced image, that you can hear him say, "It's over, Prime." I hope. That is the goal. I already made this a lot darker than the Doom face, and I am okay with that, because I want this to feel more organic and lived in, if that makes sense. Trying to make something that's unalive organic. These guys are, what they call it? Autonomous robotic organisms. How long have I been here? An hour and 43. I'll probably be in here for another 10 minutes, guys and gals. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really do mean it. I'll probably be working on this again on Friday. If you want to see more of this, please feel free to jump on the stream. Unless I get froggy and finish it off screen. Although this was a piece for someone. Also, let me know if there's a character or you guys would like to try to see me attack. Attack. Ooh, that reminds me. I did a Splinter painting as if he was an Edo period samurai. One of my earlier paintings, and ever since then I've been wanting to do the Shredder. But yeah, leave suggestions on the chat or in the comments to see what you guys like to see after or next. I'm trying to get that brush look. JOM, hello, how are you? You catching me at the back end of this thing, bro? But I'm glad you're here. Thank you for swinging through. Appreciate you. Just trying to add some dynamic colors here. That's what makes it so reflective. Shredder sounds awesome. Yeah, man, I wanted to do a dark image of the Shredder. Edo period style in samurai gear. Sometimes, man, my ideas are bigger than my abilities. But I think I'll just draw it. We'll go from there. I'm gonna subdue some of this. Man, that looks pretty good. Look, chrome. Oh man. If I can bottle this and remember how I'm pulling this off, I'll do a Colossus. It's over. I would love to draw a Cobra Commander. It would have to be the metallic face, just because the blue hood, it has too many similarities to the KKK, and I'm not doing that. Oh no, you know what I didn't do, guys? I didn't scan this. I didn't scan my pencils. All I did was take a picture of it. Ugh. Oh, you mean Serpentor? I never liked Serpentor. Can you believe that? I actually liked him after the fact, just because he's so absurd. This I command. I'm such a fan of Cobra Commander. I'm not gonna lie, but I hate it. Serpentor. But yeah, I can do Serpentor. Destro. You know what? I should do all the metal face dudes. Cobra Commander, Destro. Who else got a metal face? That is too dark. I haven't drawn a lot of ladies. I should draw Lady J. Lady J all day over Scarlet. I think the fun part I'm going to be able to do here after the fact when I do the bodies, use bigger brushes. And hopefully I could try to maintain this clay face. Ooh, I've done a clay face before. In gouache. Have I showed you that? Where is it? Give me a second, I'll show it because I actually like that painting. Okay, never mind. So yes, then I won't show it again. Shoot. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Heck yeah. I feel bad. I broke I broke the arm of my Snake Eyes. My model kit. Oh, you have not seen it. I thought it. I need to learn how to read. This was a model kit. The back of the arm is missing. But anyway, looks like a zombie there. Ooh. But I have a Storm Shadow. I have a Storm Shadow figure that's not a model, but an actual toy. Doo-doo-doo. Where are you? There it is. Put this here. Yeah. Bam. This one was actually talking about happy accidents earlier. Did the whole thing in ink. I drew it roughly. Did the whole thing in ink. I had used a brand new brush pen. The brush pen did not have waterproof ink. It had whatever was naturally in it, the pigmented ink. So I went and forgot to do fixative and used gesso. The gesso went and smudged all of the inks. But it left a really cool effect on the figure. Very smoky, and it was serendipitous, man, the way it turned out. And of course, gesso is legit sometimes. Gesso, very much like acrylic, with layers, you can get some really cool effects. Yeah, I wanted this thing to look like it was bubbling. Look at his face like it's melting off. That's actually quite apropos considering the trailer, where his face looks like it's stretching in the mouth area. Yeah, man. Yep. All right. Thanks, man. Back to work. I'm actually curious about that movie. The Clayface movie. I'm curious why they made it, but I'm also curious about seeing it. Ooh. This is all I got of the Baroness here. She looks all shy. I don't know. I don't think this is supposed to be Sienna Miller. But honestly, she wasn't my Baroness either. Give me the old school Baroness with the amazing accent all day. Not the Baroness from New Jersey. No offense, New Jersey. No offense. I don't know how I'm gonna do this background, but I'm gonna go for it. But right now, I think his face is pretty much done. Besides adding some darker tones and some blacks, some heavier blacks in some areas to emphasize the shadows. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to set this aside, but I'm going to let the music play me out. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today on this Wednesday workshop. Who's doing this painting in gouache of Megatron. So make sure you guys leave a comment. Make sure you guys let me know what other characters you guys would like to try to have me paint or try out and put in my style. Be kind of cool. It may just be the next one. So yeah, this is Arch of the Round Table. My name is Mello, and God bless you, love you, mean it. And until next time, I'll draw you later. Bye.